because I'm so open. You're so golden. I don't wanna be alone. You're so golden. You're so golden. You're so golden. I'm out of my head and I know that you're scared because hearts get broken. What's wrong? You've been asking, but I don't have an answer. How come? I'm still thinking, let's pretend to fall asleep now. When we get old, will we regret this? Too young to think about all that shit. And stalling only goes so far when you've got a head start. 'Cause we could stay at home or watch the sunset, but I can't help from asking, are you bored yet? And if you're feeling lonely, you should tell me before this ends up as another memory. Will you tell the truth so I don't have to lie? Will you tell the truth so I don't have to lie?
Feels like I've known you my whole life. I can see right through your lies. I don't know where we're going, but I like to be by your side. If you could tell me how you're feeling, maybe we get through this undefeated. Holding on for so long.
'Cause we could stay at home and watch the sunset, but I can't help from asking, are you bored yet? And if you're feeling lonely, you should tell me before this ends up as another memory. Will you tell the truth so I don't have to lie? Will you tell the truth so I don't have to lie?
Five, six, seven, eight. Dance with me in my backyard, boy. Looking super fine in your corduroy. Drive me round the block, we can go in a loop, and we'll turn the vibe up on some good boy band tunes. I feel the fresh air, I can feel your eyes staring. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bit scared. My heart is on wings and living in dreams, and at the top of our lungs we see. Da 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 da.
And all I am is a man. I want the world in my hands. I hate the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves of my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Head in the clouds, but my gravity centered. Touch my neck, and I'll touch yours. You and those little high-waisted shorts. Oh, she knows what I think about, and what I think about. One love, two mouths. One love, one house. No shirt, no blouse, just us. You find out nothing that we don't wanna tell you about. No, 'cause it's too cold for you here and now. So let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater. Let me just take your breath away. I don't mind if there's not much to say. Sometimes the silence guides the mind to move to a place so far away. The goosebumps start to raise the minute that my left hand meets your waist. And then I watch your face, put my finger on your tongue 'cause you love the taste, yeah. These hearts adore everyone the other beats hardest for. Inside this place is warm, outside is ice to pour. Coming down, one love, two mouths. One love, one house. No shirt, no blouse, just us. You find out nothing that we don't wanna tell you about. No, 'cause it's too cold for you here.
Alrighty. Wow, okay, what the... There. Okay, 1 second, I gotta fix that. That's crazy. Oh, that's so weird, yeah, it's literally just... screen, okay. Yeah, it's like fading in the background so much, that's so weird. Gotta be my chroma key, right? Just gotta... Weird, okay. That works. Okay. Got a little bit of green around the edge, but that's okay. Yeah, studio production, right? Okay, so I have Overwatch ready to go. We're gonna start off playing some Overwatch for sure. However, I kind of had I've got food in the oven, so I'm kind of waiting for that for one. But two, I think I kind of want to watch some videos here and kind of put my give my 2 cents in. So that is something we're gonna do here. Actually, probably just gonna exit out of the game here, and then we're gonna do this. We're gonna okay. All right. So, oh yeah, let's disable that. We don't need that. All right, here we are. We've got it. I watched a few videos here the other night, and I kind of wanted to look at them and kind of give my 2 cents on stream here. And then there's some other ones that I saw that I kind of wanted to check out that had pretty interesting titles. The gist of it is mostly just like the game state, like for Overwatch, that sort of thing. So, what's my opinion really worth? Other than to me, probably not much to anyone else. Yes, I am a coach. I coach a junior collegiate team for a community college. And granted, their sports division is pretty big, but the sports division is not. So, very small time coach. My 2 cents matters to an extent to some people, but not. It's not by any means going to be like a professional take. I'm not a very high ranked player unless you count my Kiriko, which is Masters. That's pretty much the peak of my gaming. And then maybe some Smash Bros takes will matter because I actually ranked in state somewhere up in the 20s or 30s. So, right. So, the first one is Overwatch 2 is not balanced. This video. I saw this one. I don't know who Tickety is. I know who Arj is. And interesting. I'm interested to see what his take would be because I do watch a lot of Arj. But we're gonna start with this one.
There has been a lot of negativity in the Overwatch community recently revolving around things like hero balance, the state of tanks, and of course, Mauga's release. I wanted to make a video talking about what I think is an underlying issue with the Overwatch team's balance philosophy that I believe is causing a lot of these issues. Mauga's extremely underwhelming character design being covered up by over-padding him with number-based buffs on launch was the final nail in the coffin for me. In a nutshell, I believe that a lot of Overwatch heroes have become far too heavily balanced around their defensive resources, which makes many heroes feel incredibly safe to play, and makes playing against these types
Except for DPS. Well, maybe not. I don't know, because a lot of the coaching that I've been getting, the biggest thing was like manage your resources and always had like play a coach gun away, and that was a big deal. And I suppose your disengage could be counted as a defensive ability, so maybe to an extent this isn't that incorrect. But let's see what he's got to what his like real like feelings are on it.
types of heroes feel boring and non-interactive since it's very rarely worth the risk of getting aggressive into them. Throughout this video, I'll be referring to this problem as sit back and shoot syndrome. So let's take a look at what exactly this all means. Hi everyone, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tickety. I've been playing Overwatch since beta in 2016 and have worked for years as a coach across many teams, including...
Okay, so this is who he is. I've never heard of him. So here's his credentials. And to be fair, I don't keep up very well with the like pro scene and all that. So that's probably, I mean, that's on me to not know who he is. He clearly is a well-known, renowned person. So I mean, he's done assistant coach for Cal Steel, head coach for Team Canada, and assistant coach for FNR GFE. So okay, so we'll see what he has to say though. So I'm very curious about this.
Including the Dallas Fuel in the Overwatch League and Team Canada in the Overwatch World Cup. I've been with Overwatch for so long, and I've seen the game change an incredible amount over the years. The game has been in some awful, and I mean truly awful states in the past, but has always managed to bounce back and keep my attention and keep me in love with the game for so long. I think the move to 5 versus 5 with Overwatch 2 was a great example of these kinds of changes in my eyes. I know not everyone agrees, but I think it definitely made the game feel faster, more individually impactful, and made hero compositions more flexible at all levels of...
Yeah, definitely. 100% agree. I think the switch to 5v5 was great. The game feels so much better. So much, like, there's still a lot of clutter on the screen because there's 10 people. A lot less than when there was 12 people. And only having to deal with one tank and not like two tanks just kind of just rolling everything, it does make like the individual impact feel better. I will say DPS is probably the most dog shit fucking role. It just feels so bad to play. We'll get more on that later.
play. But this recent trend of heroes being designed around such strong defensive abilities makes me worry about the direction that we're currently moving in. So to make my point as clear as possible for this video, I'm going to specifically highlight all of the new heroes that have been added since the launch of Overwatch 2 just over a year ago. And in order to explain exactly why I feel like these more recent heroes are posing such a problem, let's first talk about some key design elements that all Overwatch heroes have.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
Pretty much all Overwatch heroes are designed around their weapon being their primary source of damage,
Right.
including supports, by the way. Heroes are also given a mix of offensive and defensive utility to give them a stronger game plan when it comes to finding that damage and an identity when it comes to their overall playstyle. Since utility is a bit of a broad term, we'll define offensive utility as any way to find opportunities to deal strong damage to your opponents, and we'll define...
Okay, so we'll think about this in Ashe. And Kiriko. My Kiriko opinion probably matters a lot more than my Ashe opinion. I've been getting a lot of coaching on Ashe, but I still ain't it. Okay. So Ashe. Offensive utility. Dynamite. Easy. Kiriko, offensive utility. Not much. Kunai is really her only source of damage. She's got wall climb, but that could be argued that it's defensive as well.
Find defensive utility as any way to mitigate incoming damage. Some
Right.
examples of offensive utility.
So like, okay, excuse me. Okay, so we've got Here, let's just hear him out.
Defensive utility as any way to mitigate incoming damage. Some examples of offensive utility would be mobility to help get you in a stronger position to deal more damage, crowd controlling effects to make your opponents easier to hit, and of course, the ever so talked about anti-healing effects from the likes of Anna's Biotic Grenade or Junker Queen's Ultimate. And for defensive utility, we can once again think about mobility as a way to get out of the way of incoming fire, any sort of shields or matrix type effects in the game, defensive cooldowns and all their different varieties, and of course, healing. So let's use this breakdown to take a look at a hero like Tracer, Overwatch's poster child. She presents a very clear but flexible game plan. She can use her blinks to get up close to enemy heroes, shoot them with her close-ranged pulse pistols, and then get out safely with recall if she herself takes too much damage. Another way of putting this would be that she can use her offensive utility, her blinks, to make her weapon more effective, and she covers the risk of her low HP pool in short range by having some defensive utility in her recall. Now let's compare this dynamic to all the new heroes added since the launch of Overwatch 2, starting with Sojourn.
He's probably going to hit Kiriko, but okay, let's start with Sojourn and see what happens.
She has a very strong and simple game plan focused around her weapon and rail shots charging, but she's also given a very strong defensive utility cooldown with her slide. You can absolutely use that mobility to get up close to your opponents, but you really don't need to thanks to the range of her weapon.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, your best bet as Sojourn is simply to sit back and shoot at your...
Okay, so like... Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's actually kind of like true. You want to be playing cover. You want to be sort of hovering that cover, shooting, looking for a good pick, and then engaging. Now for your shift ability, it's a relatively low cooldown. You can use it to chase. You can use it to kind of position into like an off angle, and then by the time you need that cooldown to escape, it should be off cooldown. You should be able to just escape off of that. I don't think that this whole sit back and shoot mentality is necessarily like correct. I think it just really depends. Like the comp is like what makes this sort of the case, right? Like if you're playing a poke comp, yeah, that's that maybe that's what he's going to be drifting towards here, is that like the poke comp is like better than anything else currently with the balancing. We'll see.
Opponents and hope for a kill while you save your slide for anyone that gets too close. Not exactly the most fun and interactive.
Again, so yeah, the slide as a disengage, it's really good, but if you're playing the DPS role correctly and you're taking off angles and high ground and stuff, be using that utility to probably get up. And as long as, you're playing that one cooldown away and you're kind of ready to position. I'll go a lot more into depth on my opinions on this, probably in a bit here, on probably like the next video that we'll watch. But yeah, I feel like a lot of times with DPS in general, it's like you're kind of just waiting around for your opportunity to do anything. Like you kind of just have to be patient and time things correctly, because it's really easy to just think, I'm a DPS, I should be able to just kill everything and run in, and then, well, don't have the resources and you die. So it's more so timing and patience, I think, is like the problem here. Thinking that you should be saving this purely for disengage, I don't think that's really the case.
Gameplay. The next hero released with Overwatch 2 was Junker Queen, and actually I think Junker Queen is the one exception to the rule with all these new heroes. She has an abundance of damage, offensive utility from her knife, and some defensive utility with her shout to stay active or to disengage a fight. Note here though that she suffers from shorter range and a squishy health pool, at least compared to most of the other tanks in the roster. So once again, she can use her offensive utility to make her targets more vulnerable by pulling them in close with her.
Interesting. She's a little squishier, but she's also smaller. Her hitbox is much smaller than the rest of the tanks. And since she's a health tank and has a lot of sustainability and the smaller hitbox, her survivability I don't think is impacted nearly as much as he's leading on here.
Knife throw, but she's also got that defensive utility to rely on, and that covers the risk of her having to get within closer range to do most of her damage.
Right.
Next up is Kiriko, who's probably the most aggressive character on the support cast, but she's
Definitely.
also given some of the strongest defensive tools in the entire roster
100%.
with Teleport and Suzu. And Suzu isn't just your average everyday defensive cooldown, since it can also completely nullify some of the strongest forms of offensive utility in the game, anti-healing and crowd control. You can play Kiriko very aggressively thanks to all of this defensive padding in her kit. With both, or sometimes even just one of her cooldowns available, she can outplay almost any aggressor because of how strong these defensive cooldowns are. But honestly...
But she has no engage. Like, alright. We're gonna get more in detail on that. But because like the video I'm referring to, it's very specifically Kiriko. But she's got like a whole slew of defensive capabilities. So she can play hyper aggressive. She can just walk up to you and start throwing kunais at you. She's got a lot of defensive tools if she makes a mistake to be able to get out and live. That's just the character. And it's not, she doesn't even sit back and do the whole like sit back and shoot thing like he's talking about. You kind of want to like walk up and like be aggressive. And as long as you know that you have like a tether, someone that you can swift step out to, or you have your Suzu and you're playing next to a wall and you can climb up and kind of get, get away. Lots of ways to get out. But she has no way to actually get in other than just walking in, which can make it really easy to poke her out and make her waste her cooldowns. More on that later. But generally, yes, that's like, it's a trade-off, right? So...
you don't even need to be aggressive on her to be effective. In your
That's true, you don't.
level of play, you'll probably get your most value by just, you guessed it, sitting back and shooting healing into your team, fishing for lucky headshots across the map with your projectile, which has no fall-off damage by the way, and saving your Suzu for the biggest emergency that hits your...
Sometimes. Yes and no. It's very dependent on the comp. Kiriko is just very fluid in how she can play. I feel like a lot of heroes are. But I know the most about Kiriko, obviously. Kiriko's just very fluid. You can do this like heal bot, sit back and shoot, save your cooldowns for like ultimates and stuff like that. Or you can play hyper aggressive. You can wall climb around, get up into their back line, get a few picks, go back to your team, heal, maybe throw a Suzu out, and then run around and go do it again. And you can play more DPS oriented style of play. It's just dependent on the comp on how you're gonna get your value, right? So I don't know.
Team. Next up is Ramatra, who I have to admit has a very interesting hero design with his two forms and how they work off of each other. But his biggest drawback comes from the fact that his best offensive utility, the movement speed and punches he gains from Nemesis form, are tied to the same cooldown as his strongest defensive utility, blocking with Nemesis form. It's very difficult to find a reason to push in with Nemesis form when you know you might need that same cooldown to stay alive, and most of the time you'll only get good opportunities to be aggressive after you've already outlasted the enemy defensively with your block. So in other words, your best bet as Ramatra most of the time is to sit back, shoot the little bugs out of your staff at your enemies, and hope to God that you don't get Nemesis form forced too early, or else you might actually die during a teamfight. The next hero released was Lifeweaver. And honestly, do I even need to say anything at this point? This hero...
Sorry. Going back with Ramatra, kind of true until he gets ult. Bro, when he gets ult, you just go booga. You walk in, you punch, you Q, you punch more, and, maybe if they're doing too much damage, you fucking Ramatra forever, and then your ultimate, it just kills everything. I think his ultimate's just really fantastic. And you're kind of just playing around that, really. Like, you're poking until you find the opportunity. It's very similar to Kiriko's. Again, this like hybrid playstyle, and I think this guy is just not seeing the other side of that.
And honestly, do I even need to say anything at this point? This hero, in my opinion, has the absolute worst design in the game by a long shot. Not only does he have extremely strong defensive utility, but he's actively discouraged to even fire his primary weapon for damage since it takes away from his healing output. He's not supposed to play the game, guys. He sits back and he doesn't even shoot. And sure, there's technically the potential to use his pedal platform creatively, offensively to take new sightlines and things like that, but realistically, the only reason Lifeweaver is played is because of how safe he is, how much healing he puts out, and his abundance of defensive reactions. Next up is Ilyari, who has some of the strongest and most consistent damage output from the support line, and she's able to play for that damage very freely because her defensive utility requires exactly 0 brain power to use. Thanks to the defensive power of her turret and her jump booping back enemies, she can easily survive, if not win, most 1v1 situations. But even if you're not looking to take space aggressively and find those 1v1s with Ilyari, she still finds very strong, easy value sitting back and shooting from behind her team because of the range on her weapon. She takes 0 risk to find that damage. And
I'm kind of agreeing on the Ilyari one. For Lifeweaver, I think that, like, you're complaining that sit back and shoot is the problem, and then you say he sits back and doesn't even shoot. Yeah, he sits back because he's a support, and that's probably how support should be played, to be honest. All of his value is out of his utility, not really his damage. His healing is great, obviously. That's kind of just support in general. You're just kind of supposed to be healing. That's why the whole, like, oh, I'm not a healer. Okay, yeah, but you're support, and name one support that doesn't heal as, like, their primary utility. So, but obviously, he gets most value out of his utility, his healing and his defensive, like his pedal and his grasp mostly is like the big thing, and then the tree obviously is huge, but that's again healing. So yeah, I guess I don't see the complaint on Lifeweaver. I don't get that. Ilyari though, yeah, I feel like Ilari's a bit much. The whole like turret healing thing and is like fantastic idea. I just think it's very difficult for balancing. I think she's in an okay spot. Do think her damage is pretty crazy though. I don't think we need like another sniper DPS support that doesn't have to actively think about healing. Like we have that with Ana, right? But if you do it with Ana, you're doing damage over healing. You have to pick. Ilyari doesn't. You just throw your pylon down and then you shoot the enemy. And if someone's getting low and your pylon's not healing enough, then you like right click for a little bit, but you don't have like a lot of healing resource. So clearly the design intention was that you're going to be shooting a lot more than healing. Yeah, it's a little dumb. And then her ultimate, don't even get me started. That ultimate is dumb. Why do we have support ultimates that are like making crazy amounts of damage plays? That should be a DPS ultimate, but I digress.
And of course, finally, that brings us to Mauga. He's got a fairly boring offensive game plan of just kind of always shooting at something. He's got good offensive utility tied to his charge, and since he's immune to crowd control for the movement, it can also easily be used defensively. His cardiac overdrive, however, is very situational in my opinion. It either makes him completely unkillable, or it'll be easily mitigated depending on the context. Since it's effectively just a bunch of healing, it can be easily countered by anti-healing effects, and since it relies on him hitting shots, most forms of defensive utility, like shields, will deny his damage. So why run the risk of needing to rely on that cooldown when instead you could just, sit back and shoot? I hope the pattern I'm trying to draw here is becoming more and more clear to you guys. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of older heroes who also exhibit these symptoms, these sit back and shoot behaviors, and in fact you've probably noticed more than a few of them becoming more and more popular over the recent patches. Characters like Soldier 76, Bastion, Sigma, Orisa when she was strong for a little while, Baptiste, Mercy. These are all heroes who rarely need to take risks in order to be effective, or...
Bro, who is this guy? Stylosa? He fucking hates Mercy.
who are so loaded with defensive utility that quote-unquote risks don't affect them the same way. And I wouldn't say that any one of these heroes is particularly problematic, maybe Mercy, but we'll talk about that another time, but it's just the abundant...
I was right. He fucking hates Mercy.
of heroes that fit this model that has saturated the game and made it feel just boring to play. Why would I ever pick a more aggressive hero when it presents far more risk than reward in most situations? Why would I pick up more aggressive heroes that require strong game sense and planning to find their win conditions when I could instead just AFK in the backline and be 95% effective? The idea of a win condition doesn't even properly apply to these types of heroes. They are always winning, and instead they have an abundance of don't lose conditions with all their defensive resources. So what is the solution then? Now, I'm not a game designer, I don't pretend to be one, and I definitely don't think my ideas are perfect, but my go-to answer would be to have more balance focused around heroes that have a strong mix of both offensive and defensive utility. And
all right, let's hear it out.
don't make them choose between one or the other at all times, like Ramatra with his Nemesis form or Lifeweaver with his weapon. Look at heroes like Winston, who can jump in aggressively and cover himself with his bubble defensively, or Genji, who can use his dash and deflect to win a duel.
Nah, fuck Genji, dude. Fuck that. Fuck that. Okay. You know what my biggest problem with Genji, and it's the same issue I have with Zarya, by the way. Same issue I have with Doomfist. Same issue I have with to an extent the same issue I have with Sigma. Why the fuck do they have an ability to punish the core mechanic of every character in the game, shooting? Like, why does Genji get to turn off his hurt box? Well, not really, kind of, half of it, the front half, and then punish you for shooting him? That's so stupid. Dumb design. Same with Zarya. Bubble. Oh, I guess I'm shooting the Zarya, she bubbles. Oh, I better stop shooting or she's going to be able to kill me faster. Oh, wait a minute. She can still kill me anyway because I can't shoot back. I can't pressure her. So she gets to walk up to me. Even with her little tickle amounts of damage, her bubble's going to last so long that I'm just going to be like 10% health left by the time bubble drops. And she's a tank. So guess what? I can't kill her on 10% health if she's actively shooting me unless I have support. Dumb. Stupid design. And if I just shoot the bubble and break it really quickly, like if I'm Reaper, bang, bang, bubble's gone. Oh, well, guess what? She does like 80% more damage now. Like, it's so stupid. So dumb. Or she just has another bubble, which is just also just like, what were you smoking when you decided she could do that? Okay, so that's my biggest issue with Genji, dude. I hate it. I'm always afraid to shoot a Genji unless I know that the deflect is off cooldown, because mostly I play burst champions and that's, you shoot it and you get bursted instead. Dumb. Really stupid. Needs a longer cooldown or something, like maybe a visual indicator so you know when it's not, when he doesn't have deflect. It's so freaking stupid, man. That's probably just copium, but I hate Genji so much. Not only that, but then he's also like already a hard target because he has double jump, swift strike, wall climb, like all these tools to just move around and make him a difficult target. And then like finally the time that all that shit's on cooldown, you can hit him, you get punished for actually shooting him. So dumb, stupid.
Or to keep himself safe, or sometimes a mixture of both. Or even Ana, who there's also a ton of controversy around right now, but she has a strong choice of either being safe and defensive with her cooldowns or more aggressive to help set up kills. The keys here are choice and downtime. If I choose to be aggressive with my utility, it should present a clear risk that either punishes me or puts me in a weaker position afterwards until I stabilize. If I choose to hold on to my utility for a defensive play, then I should not be doing the same amount of damage as if I were pressing all my buttons. The quote-unquote choice for a lot of these newer heroes is either A, use all my utility to be slightly more effective and more aggressive, or B, sit back and shoot and still be 90% effective, but have all of your defensive bases covered since you'll have all your buttons ready to go. On Mauga, I can run in with all my buttons, hope for the best, but then once they run out, I'm probably going to die. Or I can sit back and shoot, never take a single risk, and still do really strong damage. On Ilyari, I can look for aggressive off angles and sustain myself with my utility, or I can sit back, save my cooldowns, and still do very strong damage. On Sojourn, I can slide into the enemy backline and look for a clutch play, or, I can sit back and shoot my gun and still one-shot people from across the map. At this point, it probably sounds like I'm advocating for dive to come back into the meta and for more dive heroes to be released, which I definitely am, but I do think it's fine for these types of backline characters to exist. They just need to be properly balanced. They need to be less effective at range, or they need to be more punishable. Give me more DPS like Ashe, who sure has long range and is very effective without much effort, but she also suffers from long reload times and limited escape options. Give us more supports like Ana or Zenyatta, who sure have very game-changing abilities and do a lot, but also have zero mobility to escape aggressors. Just picking these heroes should carry with it an inherent risk because of how simple their game plans are. I don't think a composition like Sigma, Sojourn, Bastion, Baptiste, Ilyari should have some of the strongest range damage possible and still be able to counter anything that comes their way. We need more fast-paced dive tanks like Winston and Doom, or we need more dueling DPS like Tracer and Genji to be powerful enough to outplay these types of heroes when handled properly. No wonder people feel like supports and healing in general is overpowered because no one is contesting enemy backlines. No wonder people feel awful playing tank right now because there's so much damage coming their way and no one else will run the risk of taking a single step forward. Simply put, this is not the Overwatch I fell in love with in 2016, and the content releases we're seeing these days is making me feel like it might never be the same again. Thank you all for watching.
Okay, wow. Way to tie that up at the end. So, I know I've been playing kind of like the obstinate, like, antagonist here throughout this whole video, but honestly, the way he tied it together at the end, I'm convinced. Yeah, no, Soldier sucks to play against, and then the comp that he specified, and he said Soldier was kind of a part of that group of, yeah, it's not so much that he's saying they can't go up and take these angles and play off angles and stuff. It's just that, why would they when they can just sit back and shoot? And, you know, get more value and be safer. It makes a lot of sense. And yeah, that's a really boring thing to play against, and it sucks from everyone's perspective. Makes the tanks feel like unkillable because the supports, you can't get to them. If you try to, you've got a cringe-ass fucking baby champ Soldier coming up, baby's first hero coming up and sprints up to you right at your toes and then sprints away, pops his healing, and does it again. And it's like, and then his ultimate gives him aimbot. It's like, oh, wow, that's so cool. So much skill to play that character. I have a big problem with Soldier. I hate playing against soldiers. It's so goddamn annoying. They have way too much going for them, and they are all the whiniest fucking babies, I swear to God. Which is gonna lead us into our next video here. Let me see here. I've got it should be in my watch history. I just gotta run through it here. Oh wait, is it on this? It might not be on this account actually. I think it's on my other one. Oh, no. Here it is. Okay. So I didn't watch this whole video, but it's not really
happenings.
It's not all really. The biggest thing is, okay, so there was the Overwatch is on the top search for Rule 34. Yeah, that does not surprise me. Overwatch hates Ash. Yes! I was so pissed they removed Ash from the picture. Look at that.
This artwork.
Yeah! Why? Why'd you... And when do I get that skin?
Was previously posted by Play Overwatch that you can see notably had Ash in it. But she has been removed for whatever reason the devs have chosen. People did point out that this the thigh gap that Ash has in this picture, as you can see here, is rather odd and unsettling. It's like kind of inhuman. It's possible that they thought this is a bad look. It's possible that it's just because they don't have this skin made that they thought, let's not put her on the front.
That makes more
Genji
sense.
Is here, and so is Bob, and I don't think those skins exist either. So you can see Bob's glove there.
That's true.
On your side, you can see Bob's glove, and you know,
I feel like they're probably gonna release those later. I don't think they've announced them or anything.
Picture, but it's just Ash who's gone. So I don't really understand.
Stupid.
What the idea
I'm pissed. Is. I was gonna make that my background and then remove
Ash.
Stupid.
9 games,
Stupid. Okay, let's.
All right, guys.
Let's watch this clip here at the beginning.
Welcome to Overlooked, or also known as This Week in Overwatch.
This is a good discussion to have, I feel like.
At all the happenings that have taken place on anything to do with Overwatch, whether that's on...
Okay, I'm actually gonna grab my food and then we'll finish this up. Be right back. have my food. I am not gonna. I try not to be obnoxious about eating into the mic or anything like that. So, okay. Let's pick this back up here.
On social media or in-game news or wherever it may be found. Starting with this clip from Metro Overwatch. This has caused a massive stir, as you can see with the nearly 600 quote retweets and the 2 million views. This has really gotten the Overwatch community spiced up. So I'm going to play the clip first. It's him complaining about supports and Kiriko in particular, and then we'll discuss it afterwards.
I'm playing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you didn't mean
So,
that.
so he's dueling in the back line. He starts dueling this Kiriko. She runs away.
I'm gonna pull the
It is so ridiculous that he can do that, right? Be an absolute shitter. See, if the Sojourn commits, right? He
That's a
dies.
Sojourn, he kills.
Because it's fair. If the Kiri commits, she can just get out after missing everything. That was the perfect example.
So to summarize the clip, Metro's here on Watchpoint Gibraltar, and he starts dueling this Kiriko, as we'll see. I'm just going to mute the audio. So he starts dueling this Kiriko. He starts with the Hog. Then the Kiriko comes in to try and get him. He drops healing station. He gets a Helix sort of in and starts shooting them. The Kiriko whiffs most of her shots. He's about to finish her off. And you can see she goes down very low, then she teleports away. The Sojourn tags in, tries to duel. He quite easily rolls the Sojourn. He then complains that the Sojourn, when she commits, gets punished. The Kiriko doesn't. She teleports out, then back in, having healed via the support passive. You can see it actually triggering in the bottom left of her health bar. Support passive heals her up. She comes back and easily kills him. So this has caused a bunch of stir amongst creators. Let's just round up what other people have said first, and then I'll talk through my opinion.
Okay. Bro, this is the funniest thing ever. Okay. So he's gonna point this out in a bit. I'm not gonna ruin it because I know he points it out and it's really funny. And if you haven't seen this, then it'll be really funny to you too. But immediately, my take is, bro, you're standing here fighting a Kiriko, knowing you can get 2 shot in the head, okay, which is already just kind of dumb. But she's like missing her shots, okay, and you're not missing your shots because you're Soldier. So already skill diff here, but also like, where's like the floor, like the skill floor here? Because you're playing Soldier 76, a rapid fire hit scan with 30 bullets in the mag, okay, and hit scan. Easiest fucking thing to hit your shots with. You just aim with your crosshair. You blind your crosshair up to the target and you shoot. That's it. There's no calculations, no thinking about it, no compensating for strafe. I mean, to an extent, yes, you're tracking the strafe, but you're not compensating for the strafe, is what I mean. So, like, Kiriko, a projectile character who has a relatively slow projectile speed as well. Yes, it has a lot of damage, but like that's like compensation here for like how slow this projectile speed is. You know, and Overwatch has, and it's probably my biggest complaint about Overwatch right now is the strafe speed is too fast. There's no like wind up into moving, like into switching directions. You go, which I don't know if you've ever tried to do that in real life, like like how they do in games. Whack. I mean, it's a video game, obviously. It doesn't have to be like real life, but it's just whack that they can move that fast. Like, how people react to that is just insane. And, like, if you don't have, like, reaction time and skill to do that, sometimes you're just going to suffer and you have to compensate by hoping they strafe into your shots. With Kiriko, you frame your shots, you fire, and yeah, there's a little bit of leeway, a lot more leeway there than with, like, Soldier's hit scan, but you're still, like, trying to like best guess where they're going to strafe into your shots, and that's probably why she's missing so many shots here, because he is actively strafing, trying to avoid the shots. And when you're head-on dueling like this, Soldier should win this every time easily, because not only can he just go dink 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 into your head and just kill you in like a few shots, because his damage is pretty crazy if he's hitting headshots, but even if he's just body shotting, the time to kill is still pretty quick. Then he's also got like rocket. That rocket is stupid. You just, it's like Hanzo's scatter shot, just like a little toned down. Obviously, you're not gonna one shot a Reinhardt, but it's like, oh, you're dead. Like, it's so stupid. You just right at their toes, and you do like 90% of their health. It's so stupid. I hate it. DPS probably should have explosive options like that, sure, but it's just annoying, okay? I'm not saying it's a terrible design or a bad part of the kit, it's just annoying. And skill issue if you can't hit it. Okay, so you're acting like you don't have options here. You have options here. It's super freaking easy. And yes, Kiriko has her own options. And you're complaining that Kiriko also has her own options. So you just want training dummies around the entire map for you to just run around and shoot as efficiently as possible. You just biding your time till the hero mastery for soldier comes out so you can optimize the timing and go and do that. Okay, then fine, but stop complaining that heroes broken because they have escape tools. Like, come on. Like, and I already went over this too. Kiriko has no engage. Soldier has both engage and disengage, and Kiriko just has a doubled up disengage. That's it. She just walks up to you, you poke out her cooldowns, and you kill her. And that's and you know, if maybe she gets out, but you poke down her cooldowns, so if she comes back, she has nothing. You just kill her. You should just win that. Okay? And the reason he didn't win it is because he was 2v1ing. Because Sojourn came up, got him low. He diffed the Sojourn pretty good. Unfortunately, he just didn't have the time to heal himself up or anything like that, and the Kiriko came around and hit one shot because he was like 85 health. Okay, that's what happened, and he's sitting here complaining that Kiriko has cooldowns. Like, okay, shut up, dude. Just shut up and stop complaining. There's more things wrong with this clip, by the way, that will come up, and it's really freaking funny.
Is Daniel Fenner, who says, "Why is it every time we see a oh my god supports clip on Twitter, it's not even good for the argument? I've now seen a Winston 1v2ing the supports, getting every cooldown out of them and saying it's not fair. A Doomfist crying that he died 1v4, and now this soldier on an outrageous flank, keeping Kiriko out the fight for a good 20 plus seconds, getting Suzu out of her, killing a Sojourn, then finally dying to Kiriko body shot. Kiriko's out the main fight for even longer to come back the second time. All of these instances have been dubs for the clip poster." So
exactly, and that's basically a lot of what I'm saying is written in there too. So like, exactly the point, right? Like, he's acting like he had zero value here. And sure, that's probably not the point. The point that he's making is that he hates Kiriko. But this is not a good example as to why you hate Kiriko. You're just completely...
Dan pointing out that maybe he should look at more than just the immediate value, that he should think about, well, he got cooldowns out, he kept a person out the fight, and he did kill another person in this fight. So Dan is saying this is not a support gotcha clip. Because obviously Metro titled his clip, "This is why Overwatch is a broken game." Another content creator, Ray Linney, says, "Tell me you don't know how cooldowns work without telling me you don't know how cooldowns work." Unsalted Salt replies to that and says, "Support players are the most delusional people I have ever seen. It's just a circle jerk fest of people convincing each other that support isn't OP and is skilled. The community is so fucked."
It is, like, okay. So yes and no, because I do think that as far as like the skill floor goes for for the total playing of a role, supports is way lower. Of course, not that hard. If you just understand how the game works and you know how to make decisions, you'll do fine. Kiriko does not have to use Kiriko. Okay, so the whole skill thing, Kiriko's kunais takes a lot of skill to hit, but you don't have to use her kunais to win games. You can just heal bot the entire game, and that will carry you to masters. I should know. You don't have to be able to hit kunais. You can just heal, which is not that hard of a concept. How her healing works, it takes some time to get used to, but it's not that hard of a concept. And so yeah, sure, I'll give you that. It's not a hard role to play, and it's not the most. It doesn't take the most skill to play that role. But that's kind of not really the argument here. No one's claiming something's easier or harder than the other. Like, the response here just doesn't match what Relaney was whatever that was saying. You know, he's saying that the game has a lot more to it than just like the immediate value that, you know, you're trying to go for. There's a lot of things that you did here that actually made a bigger difference in the long run. So
SK chimes in and says, "Y'all, he's right." And I think easily the funniest commentary comes through and it says, "Just so we're all clear here, he's defending third point in this clip."
Okay. That's the other thing that's hilarious about this clip. if you're not familiar with this map, okay, where he's at here, like he's defending third point. Okay, he is standing more like over here, way behind second point. Their spawn is literally in front of him. He has to go past them to get to the point, and he is defending. So he is on a very aggressive flank behind their spawn, and then starts complaining that he's gonna be 2v1ing people in their, like, bro, shut up, man, shut up. Why are you even back here? Like,
So if you missed it, Metro is actually on the third point defense. You can see in the bar, his team is actually defending third point. So this flank is, to say deep, is perhaps understatement. Now, my own personal opinion, I will share with this tweet, and I'll read it out, and then I'll elaborate. I said DPS exists to kill things. If a support can, kill them faster, with less risk, bracket 0, worse positioning, worse mechanics, easier abilities, then we may as well delete the role.
L take. Bro. Okay. I'm gonna pretend that we're not talking about this clip for a second. Because I think that in reference to this clip saying that is just delusional. Like, oh my soul. Like, if we're talking about this clip, okay. That soldier almost 2v1'd, man. Like, don't even get me started on that whole time to kill nonsense, okay? Like, he killed another DPS and held off the support, okay? And to say that there's zero risk for a fight, that's basically a 50-50 right there. That is, there's no way that is, like, zero risk, okay? Like, she has cooldowns. Okay, but there's still risk to going in. That's how fast and explosive time to kills and damage is. Okay, so delusional take right there in terms of this clip. But if we're not talking about this clip in general, in what world do you think supports all have a faster time to kill than DPS? Like, I can think Kiri and Alari, and I think I've already said my piece about Alari. Okay, yes, Alari definitely damage is a bit high. And they've taken steps to nerf that, and I think they will probably nerf it more if it still continues to be an issue, but I don't think it has been. Kiriko, it's like a big trade-off because she has to be engaging on you actively and she's not healing. It's like one or the other, okay? And yeah, she can throw kunais between healing a Fuda because it's like it's a heal and then 2 kunai heal timing before like the healing is off cooldown. But just be in range to heal her allies, and she's probably throwing across the map and is not really aiming at anything in particular. She's just kind of throwing it at chokes and hoping she gets a lucky headshot. And that does not happen super duper often. It's frustrating when it does, sure, like from the perspective of the person walking around the corner that gets domed, but you're most of the time not getting hit by 2 in a row and you're not dying from it. So just really stupid to think that. And then if you're getting into a duel with Kiri, then especially from like a soldier's perspective, it's so much, like, and I've already said this, it's so much easier for you to hit your shots than it is for her. All you have to do is strafe, shoot a couple shots into her head, and then right-click her toes, and she is gone. You just deleted her. Unless she Suzu's unless she's, like, really good and Suzu's your Helix, and then in which case the Helix isn't gonna, like, destroy her, but you can still just track way better than she can, because all you have to do is just strafe, and she just has to get lucky. That's it. Like, it's not even that she has a better time to kill or anything like that. It's like it's a lot harder for her to take. Like technically, yes, if every shot hits from Soldier 76 compared to Kiriko, if they're both hitting headshots, if not taking into account the Helix rocket, if you're just both right clicking at her, sure, Kiriko's kunais will probably kill you faster. Is she gonna hit 2 kunais in your head every single time? No, probably not. If you're like anything decent at like strafing in this game at all, like. Which clearly this guy is. So, I don't know. I just think this whole argument is delusional and stupid.
Title is clickbait, but the substance of Metro's point is indisputable, and it's wild that people are arguing otherwise. And that's kind of how I see it. I think there is a tendency whenever people post clips and they complain on places like Twitter or Reddit, we kind of first instinct that
delete the roll take is dumb too. Like, so just I don't really have words to describe that, but it's like a core part of the game. Like, cannot just delete half the game and call that an answer to the problem. Okay. Not that I think there's a problem, but clearly you're expressing that you think there's a problem, and your take on how to fix that is delete the role. Okay, yeah, you are very much so contributing to solving the issue.
That we all have is that we try to VOD review them, right? Oh, you missed shots 4 to 7, and if you had taken the cover here for half a second, you would have won. Or
I don't think anyone's doing that. Like, yeah, it's very easy to do that, obviously. Like, to fucking talk semantics and break down why he lost this and what he could have done differently. Like, sure, yeah, that's really easy to do, but I don't think anyone's actually doing that, because everyone understands this guy's actually a pretty good player. And like the biggest thing is like, bro, you're wildly out of position, and obviously that's why this fight's gonna play out like this, like eventually at some point. And all things considered, you did get good value. That's really the closest thing we're getting to VOD reviewing here, okay? But like, no, all the arguments, especially the ones he's highlighted, has been all centered around the actual topic at hand here. Like, support's broken apparently.
you didn't like kite this and bait that. Well, let's be honest, no one's playing this fight properly, right? No one's playing this
Right.
fight perfectly.
No, exactly.
Metro's a good player, however, people may like to meme on him. Metro's a very good player, and the other person's also pretty good. So we have two pretty highly skilled players in the grand scheme of things, dueling it out. Firstly, the DPS role doesn't just exist, nor do the tank role should just exist to bait out support cooldowns. I think that's a very lame.
I don't think anyone's saying that. Like, I don't think anyone's saying that that's the only reason you exist. I think that they're saying that he did that in this instance, and that was a good thing. And that's probably, like, the best thing to think about how to deal with this situation. You don't only exist to bait out cooldowns, but some characters, it's better and more efficient if you just bait the cooldowns out, because that's what it is, right? So you got poke, you've got brawl, you've got dive. Sometimes when you're going against certain comps like brawl or dive, and if you're trying to play a little bit more of a poke comp, your goal of that comp in general is going to be to force resources and force cooldowns and, you know, bait stuff out like that. Not saying that like that's entirely your job, like not in its entirety, but it is a part of it. Like, that's a part of the game. You just have to do that. Like, that's not the entire game, but it is part of it.
Same way to play the game, right? I get that there's like this.
That's an opinion. Lame way to play the game. That's an opinion, and like honestly has no place in this argument, because some people might enjoy playing the game that way. You don't, sure, but some people don't, and I don't honestly think it's a lame way to play the game necessarily. It's just how the game is played sometimes, and that was kind of the substance of the other video too. Was like he hates the fact that poke is so strong.
This external value that comes in, but the same doesn't apply for the Kiriko in this situation, right? The Kiriko can DPS, can heal, can use her powerful cooldowns, and then step back to the fight instantly.
And has 0 engage.
And the soldier's job is to go on a flank just to bait some of her cooldowns out and just to get her out the fight for 5 or 6 seconds. I think that's where the problem lies, because in this situation, Kiriko's win rate isn't really relevant.
He doesn't have to go all the way to the back line to get Kiriko out of the fight. Like, he's all the way back in like in between first and second point. Like bro, what?
Because it's just about, we're just talking about this area of like whether she's a better duelist than DPS or not, right? The win rate, it speaks to a wider picture that I'll get to on a minute. But she is essentially in every way a better duelist than almost any DPS you can think of, right? Because she can take these duels, like I said, with 0 risk, right? At any point, she can Suzu and teleport out. Her hitbox for her kunai is massive. Her time to...
If you come to her, yeah. If you walk into her back line and walk straight towards her, yeah. Obviously, she's a better dueler in that instance. Excuse me. This is dumb. Like, there are an infinite number of ways to deal with a Kiriko if you're trying to duel her that do not involve walking straight into her back line and trying to duel her solo in the back. Like, she has these tools for a reason, because she's supposed to be able to hold off stupid things like this that the only counter to previously was Brig when she was broken. Or like Baptiste throwing an immortality field down. like, this is just stupid brain dead taste. This is just DPS players complaining that they can't walk into the back line and immediately kill a support like it's the easiest fucking thing in the world. Because you know what happens when you can do that? The supports are playing Dead by Daylight again. Like, that's just how it is. The supports have to be strong, and it's a balancing act. Sure, it's very easy to tip the scale into the hands of the supports, and I think in some instances, yeah, the supports maybe are a little bit overpowered. But I don't think to say that's like entirely the case, like all the time. I don't think that's true. I think that everything is in a pretty good spot. I think DPS sucks to play right now, is my opinion. That's just because I suck at the game and I have no skill. If I could aim like a madman, then sure. But I digress.
The kill is very, very fast. Faster than the soldier, faster than most DPS players in the game, or DPS heroes in the game. And she can afford to not be near cover. She can afford to do whatever she wants because she can teleport out at any point. The soldier has to play relatively... You can see that illustrated in this example, right? People talking about
Not really.
Metro's positioning. But look at the Kiriko's positioning. She sat here in the middle with no relevant cover anywhere close.
What? No. No. Bro, look at the Kiriko's position. Are you kidding me? Okay. So, anyone who has any semblance of understanding in the game, picture like a top-down view of the map, right? Like, okay, let's see here. Where are we at? Watch point. So, let's see if I can find a good top. Okay, here we go, right here. Okay, so he is standing. Okay, payload is like right around up here, okay? Spawn for the enemies is like right over here, and he is taking the fight over here, okay? Anyone who has any semblance of understanding of the game is going to understand that where the payload is here and right around here is like contested space, right? This is defender space. This is attacker space right here. He's literally playing so far away from defender space and even contested space. He's literally in the enemy's controlled space. And you're complaining and you're saying, look at the Kiriko's positioning. Bro, that Kiriko is in her own space. That Kiriko can stand wherever the fuck she wants because her team is there. And she has anchors and she has tools. He has nothing. He has his cooldowns and like the hopes and dreams that he can get a little bit of value before he dies because he is dead here. He signed his death warrant walking back here. Like, what are you on? And obviously we don't have the context to it, but that's just how the fucking game works. You don't need the context to know that.
Typed in this box, so if he wants to at any point, he can hide behind the box. This Kiriko
So
hide.
you're talking about micro, and I know I'm talking about macro, but you're talking about micro here, but that's just straight up incorrect. Like, obviously, Kiriko's gonna take advantage of the tools because she's in her space than she would be if she was in the enemy space. She'd be a lot more tied to cover if she was in a fucking death zone. Yes,
but she doesn't need to because at any point she can swift step out. If the support is a better DPS than the DPS, but can also heal, then what is the point of the DPS, right? Because the problem for Metro is if he isn't killing someone, if he isn't doing this, his character provides zero value to his team. If the Kiriko isn't doing this, she just goes back and starts.
no, you don't have to be back here to kill things, for one. And for two, you can have value without getting picks, like without like fascinating people. And you can do that a lot more effectively if you're closer to your team and you're playing like actually good positioning.
Starts healing them. And so she's continuing to give value. Other people are continuing to get work done as the Kiriko just holds down right click and heals them. It is a relevant point. I think it is a good thing to bring up that whether or not this affects Kiriko's win rate, this is a very BS mechanic that is very frustrating for the player to face. And especially for DPS players, it's like, how am I ever supposed to beat this character in a duel when they do all of this? and also then they go back to healing. To the win rate of the Kiriko argument, I think that really just speaks to the fact that other supports are even stronger. Like, people clown on the devs for bringing up the win rates and their balances, but then similarly they'll bring up win rates when they're having these arguments. In previous seasons, in some of the earlier seasons of
Okay. I'm done listening to this. This is just... Oh my. This is just the delusional, like, Overwatch community. It's the delusional side of the Overwatch community, the vocal majority here. Complain, like, what is going on, man? Like, why do DPS players all feel like they have to be the protagonist? Like, even I'm understanding, like, throughout my coaching, throughout my, learning, you know, the DPS role and trying to improve and trying to rank up, I'm learning very quickly, like, this, like, protagonist mentality is, like, not how you're supposed to play the role at all. And, like, that is not going to get you anywhere in terms of ranking up, or, like, at all. You're a core function in the team. You do not get to solo carry. It's not Call of Duty. The only reason players like Metro are able to do stupid shit like this, say the dumbest fucking takes and get away with it and have people side with them, is because they have a natural raw talent. They have crazy good aim, crazy good reactions, and a decent understanding of, like, the core game mechanics enough to take advantage of them. And that is how they rank up, because of skill. But, like, to watch just brain dead plays like this, and then even more brain dead takes, and from a top player, is just, like, very frustrating and very irritating. Like, God, if I had, like, a fraction of that mechanical skill, like, I could dominate ladder. Like, it's so stupid. Like, stop playing just stop doing brain dead things, and you'll stop having the most frustrating experiences because you're playing into a weakness. Like, okay, that's it. We're done with that. That's enough of my takes for the day. We're gonna go ahead and switch over here. We'll start playing some Overwatch. But oh my god, it's so annoying to hear people whine and complain about stupid stuff like that. Oh, we're really close to finishing the battle pass. Wow. Oh, I forgot this skin was even a thing. That's a cool skin. Holy. Oh, I like that. Let's see. Yeah, let's the team out. All right, let's get into it. That's not what I want to do. Fine.
How's it going? Hey, how's it going? Much better. I'm on fire.
Nice.
I know one thing. Someone's gonna pay.
Engage. Hello.
Sniper, be wary. I'm on fire.
Hello.
Doomfist.
Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Oasis. Let's see how this goes. Interesting. Some break on it. Okay. We got good backline cover. Maga. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's a necessary evil to have Maga.
Humans are a blight and a weakness. They must not hinder us.
What the fuck?
Don't be afraid to ask for help out there.
How do you even live? Somebody fetch my butt. Somebody fetch my butt. Somebody fetch my butt. Somebody fetch my butt.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
We love the somebody fetch my butt line. Okay, we should have some contesting right side. High ground. Viper's gonna pull him down. I'm gonna hold left side here. Never mind. Holy fuck, dude. I didn't even see the Junkrat mines. The Hanzo arrow I kind of expected. I wasn't expecting the Junkrat mines there. Okay, well, Junkrat is broken. We're gonna have to probably hold high ground just because the Junkrat, and hopefully he doesn't... God. Okay, left and right before forward and back. Do I okay? What? Kind of expecting Bob to stay high ground there. Oh well.
This town just ain't big enough.
I'm gonna have to figure out like more optimal ways to place Bob. I think like at like a super close range angle like that.
The enemy is on the objective. Defend
Damn, he like predicted that. That's crazy. This game is like 100% just positioning better than the enemy. Like, the only times I really died is when I was kind of dog shit positioning. GG's, that was a good game. I feel like I played really well there. Good positioning. Good timing on a lot of things. Ultimate could have been better on that high ground engagement, but still wasn't terrible, even though it was like misplaced.
You're too good with that gun to waste it on a life of crime. I'll go on the straight and narrow when hell freezes over. Or when the law catches up with you.
Love Ash.
Same thing.
Oh, I've never heard that interaction. That's so fucking good.
Somebody fetch my butt. Somebody fetch my butt. Somebody fetch my butt. Somebody fetch my butt. Somebody fetch my butt.
But it fetch my butt.
I'm at the top of my game. You're headed to the bottom.
Bro, that was so fucking funny. Hold your 76 moment, dude. Just beat the Helix and hope he dies, right? I'm in Helix death range. Oh, lucky.
I'm about to pitch a fit.
Efficient design at work.
Very good. That was a good game. played. I feel like I played really well there. I don't even know what my win losses are at right now.
Of the game.
Great sports. Don't grab, dude. Alright, let's see it. Oh, nice. That's update. 5-4. Okay, not bad. Okay. From like 23 to 64. Eh, be better, but fine.
Arriving at Chateaubriand.
I'm the last one you'll ever cross.
Damn, Kiriko's so hard to duel.
Take the lead.
Dead as a doornail. Hey.
Traveling. Prepare your defenses.
Numbani, okay, this is kind of a dive map. We're gonna be defending first.
I'm the last one.
Okay, so Ash's Widowmaker's probably gonna position further back, which means I should probably go a little bit closer to the right side here of the fence. She's gonna be probably like right here. So I'll probably have to be up here. Because we're gonna want some damage up here. She can definitely put up there really well. If I'm up here with him, then he should live a little bit longer. The supports will probably stay up here. We have an Ana, right? No, we don't have an Ana. We have Mercy. Like we was gonna be over there. Mercy can be over here on us.
There's nothing I can't catch with determination and a little dynamite.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, Mercy's over there.
Defend objective A.
Okay.
My damage spell
we-
is upon you. Thank you kindly.
Oh, they're playing a pretty aggressive dive comp here. As long as we continue to tap Tracer in the head like that. Keeps trying to like eat my bullets.
is ready.
Unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. Bob.
My ultimate
Alive, I just
ready.
damn. That sucks.
I ain't a quitter.
That'd be a good time to probably swap to Cassie. It's gonna probably help out our comp a little bit. Bro, that's so cringe. They played the map. I guess. Timing, I guess, is more important there than positioning. Damn, I'm surprised we held that for so well for like those 2 minutes. Damn. The 51% accuracy helps a lot. I think I'm actually hitting my shots today. It's nice. It was nice when that happens.
0. Switching sides.
Someone needs to fill this saddle.
Helping those in need is its own reward.
You leave a winner or in a coffin.
Take care of each other out there.
Come on, punch the door with me. That was fun. Do it again.
1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Oh, nice. That was a good Link melee, dude.
Lucky shot. Over there.
That was really stupid of me to drop down there.
Eyes sharp this time.
I have to switch to something like a little bit better for dive.
We got him where we want him.
We're a lot more, I don't know. It feels really dive, actually. I feel like Aga can actually do well in a dive setting. What? Okay, props to this fucking Tracer, dude. Holy. Tracer's going wild.
Not exactly what I expected.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
My servants never die.
We got the point. They're trying really hard to keep us from doing much with it, but we got it.
Literally, dust off the boots. Watching your back.
This Mercy, like, this Tracer really wants this Mercy dead, dude.
Where was I?
Yeah, the Tracer's doing pretty good. I mean, Elam's Wise is keeping up anyway. Or just a fucking mosquito. Anything. Just a slightly deadlier than usual mosquito. We got it. Nice. I'll take that. I don't want to play a Reaper, to be honest.
Lucky shot.
I will not let you fall.
Favorite part. Oh yeah. Move it.
Nice. Dude, big Mog ult. That ult is actually crazy good. Just denying everybody mobility is insane. Also, I forgot I had that victory pose. That's a cool ass victory pose. Bro, what the fuck did Soldier do? Probably pressed Q. Yeah, look at that. He pressed Q. Woo! Big Soldier play. Oh my god, dude. That's just hilarious. Oh, that was a fun game. Bro, when does Season 9 actually come out? When did this season actually start? I don't even remember. Oh, it started winter event, right? That would have been like December 5th. Yeah, 5th. And if it's 3 months, that would mean March. Right? March is the next season. Honestly, W's for me for playing this much so far this season. I've almost beat the battle pass a third of the way through the season, so Doro. Ash map. On attack too. I like attack.
I'm the last one you'll ever cross. We're playing by my rules.
Safety's
They're playing really aggressive here. Jesus. So much poke. They get the free res, no one's gonna stop it. Oh, they res their other support. Okay. Why do they play so aggressive? That's crazy. I've never seen anyone play like this, like aggressively onto the point like that. Other than like when they're in like OT and shit. Especially not like a Sigma. Coming towards me, like what? Stay behind the shield, dude. Dude, this team is so weird. Like, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen a full team of Plat Magnet. What? Bro, this is crazy. Happens. Big ultimate.
I know one thing. Someone's gonna pay.
I just gotta back up for this one.
I mean business.
Tactical visor activated.
Your case is definitely urgent.
Let's get back in the saddle.
Which is pretty far though.
30 seconds remaining.
If we don't get moving, we lose everything.
Alright, that's fair enough. Yeah, they defended that last point really well.
Score 2-0. Switching sides.
It was pretty tough.
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
I'm the last one you'll ever cross.
We're playing by my rules.
Are you breathing petrol? Or something more interesting? No, thank you. I'll just observe.
Right or wrong, I'm gonna finish this war.
Hello?
Hey. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the pain.
I should have expected that one probably.
I ain't a quitter.
Bro, why is this bitch always on my dick? Switch to Cass, I think.
saddle?
God, this Moira is pissing me off so much.
Bit early to dust off the boots.
Interesting, she can still fade with Hinder on her? I did not realize that. Fuck that bitch. Getting a little far up there. He finally switched to Maga. I just kind of assumed he didn't have Maga. That sucks. Our tank died. Just got a little too ham.
Death ain't on my doorstep.
Bro, what the fuck?
Not exactly what I expected.
Fucking full health out of nowhere. Jesus, fuck me. Bro, that was dumb. That was just a fucking stupid game. Why am I not seeing that Reaper skin? That's a cool Reaper skin. I just saw that. GG, this is a noodle, dude. Fuck. Stuff. Okay. It was a pretty good run for today, I think. So. About to sneeze. Ooh. Eat that for me. There it goes. Woo, man. All right. Yeah, I think that's a good run for Overwatch for tonight. But yeah, a little bit shorter stream today, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just have those days. So, I'm hoping what's tomorrow, the 1st? Yeah, so I'm hoping tomorrow I'm going to play a lot more cuz I have got coaching on Tuesday the 2nd. So, happy New Year's Eve to everyone, and I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope you guys have a great time tomorrow. New Year's. So, new year, new me. Hopefully, hopefully we get streaming a lot more, and we keep this ball rolling. So, have a good one, everyone. See you next time.